One of my favorite stories from the religious Christmas stories for children. It's called Legend of the Christmas Candle. Once upon a time, many, many years ago, an old cobbler and his wife lived in a tiny cottage at the edge of the village in Austria. This humble shoemaker had few worldly possessions, but whatever he owned, he shared with others. Symbolic of this generosity and love of mankind was the lighted candle he placed in the window of his cottage. Every night this light would shine forth as a welcome sign of hospitality to any weary traveler who might be in search of shelter. Over a period of several years, war, famine, and near destruction fell upon this little village, but never once did the little candle fail to send its beams as a message of hope and cheer to all. Hardships and losses came to the village as a result of the war. Loved sons were killed in battle, crops failed, and animals starved for want of grain. And yet, through all this trouble, the little cobbler and his wife suffered far less than the other villagers. It seemed that there was a magical charm guarding these two. Discouraged and worried, the village peasants gathered together one evening to discuss the cobbler's fortune. "Surely there is something special about him. He is always spared from our misfortunes. What does he do that we do not do?" "Perhaps it is his little candle," said one of the villagers. "Let us put a candle in our window too, and see if that is the mysterious charm." Now it so happened that the day of the peasants' meeting was the day before Christmas, and the first night that a candle was lighted in the window of every home was Christmas Eve. The candles burned all that night. When morning came, it seemed as though a miracle had occurred. A soft mantle of snow covered all of the village, and an air of hope and contentment filled the hearts of the villagers. Before the first ray of the morning sun had cast its first gleam upon the new-fallen snow, a messenger rode into the village to bring the great news. Peace had come! Tiny silver church bells chimed as the people knelt in prayer on this most wonderful morning. Never before had there been such a feeling of Christmas glory and joy as there was on this day. The peasants were awed. It was the candles, they whispered. They have guided the Christ child to our very doorsteps and have brought an answer to all our prayers. We must never again fail to light our candles on his birthday. And now, many, many years later, this beautiful custom has spread all over the world. Until today, millions of candles flicker all over the world, sending forth a message of love, hope, and cheer that will never grow old.